Hey you guys, it's Elle and welcome back to my channel and happy Foundation Friday. Today we are going to be doing a foundation that I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about, but it has been challenging for me to work with this foundation, so I have not had it yet work for me. So we're going to try it today and see if it does. So if you want to know more about that, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up. Please share this with somebody who you think would like this, and let's do it. Alright, so today we're talking about the new Dior Backstage Foundation. I got two colors. This took forever to get to me, and it came actually in the middle of our Green Clean June. So it's been sitting with me for a while. I actually got 2N and 1N. I actually have been mixing them to find the right color for me. I'm probably more of a 2N. This foundation is a dimethicone based foundation. The color selection is not amazing, but it's not like super awful. It is a semi-matte finish is what they call it. It's a skin-like finish. It's supposed to look like skin. You know that I am a Dior addict. I absolutely love a lot of what Dior does. Their Forever foundation is so beautiful. They also have one that's like a tinted moisturizer that's gorgeous. This foundation I have worn multiple times. I have actually been talking to a few of my subscribers about this foundation because they got it the same time I did. It took them forever to work with it as well. So what I have found that works the best is what we're doing today. So I have really prepped my skin with essence, with two different hydrating serums, a great moisturizer, and I've also prepped it with the Backlight priming filter from Becca. I also am starting to get larger pores right here. It just happens. Sometimes it happens with age. I mean, I take really good care of my skin. I have been slacking on my Clarisonic, so I'm wondering if that's what it is, and my exfoliation, just because life has been a little crazy. And so I actually used the Benefit Professional right here where my larger pore size is. So for me, I'm going to start applying, but I'm also going to start with the Too Faced priming spray because I need all the hydration I can get with this foundation. For me, it's gotten really weird around my mouth. It just is so dry. Like, it looks beautiful for the first hour, and then hour 2 and onward just look gray. So I've applied this with a brush. I've applied this with my fingers. I do think it would be a great foundation for oilier skin types for sure, but I'm talking about like true oily skin, okay? The other kind of drawback of this foundation is that all of the colors that are in the lighter family seem to be very similar to each other. This is 1N and 2N mixed together, and you can barely see the difference between the two. I have also used this with mixing moisturizer into it and also using an oil into it. I did not love how that finish was, so we're going to just do what has worked best so far. Is combining the two colors a little bit, mostly 2N, and using my damp beauty blender and going in for it. I have just recently dermaflashed, if you guys saw my video yesterday, and that will also help this. So when I was trying this out, I did not flash, which is what they call it. And so my foundation, obviously, as you've seen, if you haven't seen that video, I'll like link it above when I'm talking. But this foundation goes on a lot better, I would assume, after I have flashed. So this color combination is really good for me. Again, this is a matte finish. They say it's skin-like, but dude, it is so matte in my opinion. And again, I have not been able to get this to work. This is definitely a more of a like a light medium coverage, definitely not a light coverage, but it is a medium coverage. And I found that the best thing to do is to just apply one layer and let it be. Again, this is all my opinion, but I have found it to not be able to layer that well, okay? So, and also too, this foundation, for me, my skin type, it is dry to normal. You do not need any powder. That is probably the last thing you need. You guys see Wayne Goss's review of this foundation. he basically is like, oh, I couldn't get this to work. I'm like, yeah, dude, I couldn't get it to work either. And then all of a sudden he goes on camera and it like looks beautiful on the skin. That's what I'm hoping doesn't happen today, because I want you guys to see honestly what it has done to me in the past. But we're just gonna see. So I'm gonna actually scoot you in really close. Okay, and I want to show you what it looks like on the skin. So this foundation honestly has no glow to it. Do you notice how not even really here, and I have that Becca Backlight priming filter on, which usually gives a nice glow even through matte formulas. The forehead doesn't look amazing. I'm going to show you guys in real light as well, but it's actually looking not that bad right now. So the test is really going to be after I have all my makeup on and how it wears in a few hours. So that's what I'm going to do, but I wanted to give you guys kind of an up close and personal look at everything before I even put a stitch of concealer or anything else on. I do really feel like this foundation would be good for oilier skin types, but again, you know, the Elle Squad doesn't, for the majority, have a very extremely oily skin type. For the majority of us, we have anywhere between combination to dry, dehydrated skin. And so that's kind of what I take into consideration whenever I am trying out a formula. But this foundation so far looks very pretty on the skin. It's completely dried down. There is no tackiness or stickiness to it, so that's what's nice about it. It has like that Dior scent, but it's not as strong as some of the other foundations, but it looks really pretty on the skin. They do say the best way to apply this is with your fingers, and I just found that to not be true for my skin type, okay? If you are more oilier skin, I think that all you would need maybe is not even an oil controlling primer. Maybe you would just need, if you had pore problems or things like that, maybe just, you know, spot primer like I did. I really think that you wouldn't need much if you have an oilier skin type. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go put the rest of my makeup on, and then I'm going to see you in real light. All right, you guys, so here we are in natural light. I have all my makeup on. I have not one stitch of powder on except for under my eyes, which I have used my typical Hourglass ambient lighting powder in diffused light. And I actually have pretty matte blush on right now. It's Exposed by Tarte, the matte one, and my bronzer is matte. I just didn't want to add any more glow because I wanted to show you really what this foundation, how dry it is. I want to show you a little closer up. From far away, it looks good, but right here, it just looks really dry, and right here, okay? So it's kind of patchy. And I have my Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist because it's one of my favorite products besides the Too Faced Hangover Priming Spray to use when I have something like this happening. I wanted to show you actually what it does whenever on camera. So this is what it looks like, and also too right here, it's looking a little cray. It's just not, I think, for my skin. I think, again, you know, if you did go out and buy this, it is definitely something you can mix with like a more illuminizing foundation or something like that, but I don't know. I really would like to see how it wears, because that's really important also for you guys. I know that you guys really are into these long wearing foundations. I mean, not just 8 hours, like 10, 11, 12. I have actually worn this foundation for close to 6 hours and it hasn't gotten luminous hardly at all. So it stays in place, very matte. So those are positives about this. I just don't know if it's the most flattering on my skin type. So I'm going to show you. Here's my Tatcha Dewy Skin Mist. And I just give this a really generous amount. And I just let that sit. And now you can definitely see the difference in my skin. Can you? See, the glow is kind of back now since I did that. The Dewy Skin Mist has a very rich kind of moisturizing factor in it, so that is why I enjoy to use it in these situations. But this is how I would wear it. I just get a little nervous around here because if somebody's looking at you, that's where they're looking at. Because right here, it actually looks really, really pretty, don't you think? It's a really nice coverage. It's not too heavy, you know? So, I don't know. It definitely has worked better this time than it has in the past, but I don't know. So let's give it a few hours of wear. Again, I have worn this for 9 hours and it has still looked good, but again, the center section is broken up on me. But let's give it another good go and I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. Hey you guys, so it is 8 hours later and I like the foundation. It's still doing a weird thing around here. I definitely, do you see how like non-glowy it is? That's why I think this would be perfect for an oilier skin type. My final thoughts on this foundation is that, in my opinion, it's unpredictable. But the good thing about that is you can play with the finish of it. So it's a really hard review for me to do because this is probably the best that it has looked like the 7 times that I have used this. So will I use it again? Yeah, I totally will. Is it probably appropriate for my skin type? Not so much. Hi, baby. My daughter is going to go with my husband to get some dinner. But what do I don't even know. I don't know if I should recommend it or not, because I'm going to show you real close. You can see what I mean. Yeah, you know, but I mean, it's pretty. So, you know, this is how I feel. I don't really know how I feel. I think that it is a pretty foundation. I definitely got it to work this time, but I think it's something that you should probably try first. So if you do have a Sephora next to you, go and get a sample of it for sure. It is definitely one to try. If you have dehydrated skin, please do not try this foundation. It would not be great for you. But I think that anybody else should definitely give it a good try. I think it does rival some of the other foundations that I've tried. I really want to start trying a little bit more like glowier foundations because I'm just really over this whole matte trend that's happening. Even though Benefit just came out with a new foundation. So if you guys want me to try the Benefit foundation, please comment below and let me know. I want to hear from you guys. Give me some foundation suggestions that you want me to try out so I can actually give you what you really, really want, because I know that this one was highly suggested. So for me, will I try it again? Yes, because I own it. Would I have bought it based on what's happening? Probably not. But I do love Dior. So I will let you guys decide for yourselves if this is something that you guys want to get. But I do appreciate you guys being here, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.